Steve in Pennsylvania, who's going to bring us back to seriousness. Thank you for calling, Steve. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I wanted to just comment on Rudy's call a few calls back.
Okay.
One thing to mention about the end of Black History Month in 3 days, little known fact that's not often talked about, is the night before Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, he was committing adultery with a woman. In fact, he had two sisters on the side.
Oh, who cares?
Miss Coretta,
Do you know David?
Scott
No,
King,
listen. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So you mean he was a man who was unfaithful? Like, take a number. Like, don't nobody give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. Because you know what he was doing when he wasn't? He was moving people like you off your center and disturbing you so much that you waited a very long time to tell us what we already know. He was a human being with frailties. You know who else was? David in the Bible. Because I bet you a white Christian nationalist too. David in the Bible. Not only was he a hoeing ass hoe, he was also the beloved of the Lord. Not only was he a trifling hoe, he killed the husband of the woman that he was lusting after. He was a very unrighteous man. But, like, so you mean, like, so what we supposed to care? You don't give a fuck? How many people you done cheated on, Steve? Assuming you've been able to have relationships. Which is his own thing. This is the thing. I don't like to have to troll the trolls. But this man sat on the line for a long ass time and said he wanted to talk about white nationalism and religion, lying his ass off to the call screener to tell us that Martin Luther King was skeeting possibly in other places. Brother, you don't think we know that? Like, you late. We don't give a good goddamn. we don't give a like, you know how many of us got parents who was unfaithful? You know how many of us, we are living in a nation where you motherfuckers decided to put back in office a whole ass man who got 34 felony convictions, who not only cheated on the current wife, allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, his first wife cheated on her, allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, damn near beat her ass, ripped her hair out her head after she got hair plugs, buried her in a golf course, allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, because he did not want to pay for her to be buried in a funeral home. Then got somebody pregnant while he was with her. And then while he was with the baby mama of the second baby, or the other baby, got another person pregnant. We got Melania Trump, who is in this country on a fucking genius grant. You gonna tell me about Martin Luther King being unfaithful? Like we give a good goddamn? You got Pete, his own mama said he's trash Hegseth. Now, tell the guest she's going to have to give me a minute. Pete, his own mama said he's trash Hegseth, in charge of the goddamn military. Do you know what Pete used to do? Not only do he got a whole bunch of kids who was not with the women that he was married to at the time, this man is allegedly, reportedly, supposedly guilty of drinking on the job. Drinking before the job, drinking on the job, drinking after the job. Now he's in charge of the military. We got Cash Patel, who ain't never worked in the FBI, listening or working with his deputy director, Deputy Dan Bongino, I think I messed his name up, who is like nothing but a misinformation peddler. And you think we give a good goddamn about Martin Luther King being unfaithful? Now, if Coretta could forgive him, what you think we gonna do? And we don't, this is stupid. But this is going to be on YouTube. So thank you, Steve, for giving us some content. Listen, I need people to understand. When you call into a show like this with a gotcha, it usually ain't a gotcha because we typically know more than you. When you're calling just to troll, we know things. And you think that you're going to get us to care about the thing that you care about. We don't care. It's with my Stephen A. voice. I'm here to tell you, we don't care. But you know what he did do? He did challenge this country to realize that it was full of shit when it came to justice, equity, and inclusion. You know what he did do? He gave his life, or I should say he was assassinated because he was trying to make bullshit artists like yourself tap into some semblance of humanity. What Martin Luther King Jr. did do was remind this nation that there is a God, and that if God is just, it cannot, as Thomas Jefferson said, side with you because you are in the wrong. And you're also going to be memorialized. Thanks, Steve. We appreciate you. Heading to commercial break. He said that like he got a winner. Did you know Martin Luther King was cheating? Did you know we don't give a good goddamn? We got to go to commercial break. Much more to come. We'll be right back after this. Are you serious? He was serious.